Good morning, friends. So I wanted to come to you this week with talking about waiting on the Lord. It's that period of Advent where we're waiting on Him. I was looking at my playlist. I knew I had a playlist on a specific streaming service. And I knew it was by Life Team, so I just kind of looked, and it came back up. It's called Waiting on a King, Advent music. And then I'm like, waiting on a king? Yeah, we're in this period of waiting, and that's what inspired me for the week. And I just kept thinking about how many times in the Bible was Israel waiting on the Lord. So that's what I looked up first. I just looked up waiting on the Lord, the expression exactly. Waited on the Lord was the exact expression. So if you'd like to play along with me this week, go and grab a journal if you have it, or a notebook that you might be willing to use, or some paper quick, because I think this is going to be really fun. Way to get you out of your head with all the stress. You know, I've been trying to come up with ways for this. So this is going to be a way to get you out of the stress and think about how you're waiting on things. It may go a little deep sometimes. It's not just a super fun, silly craft. It is very reflective. So let's give it a try. So first, the first Bible passage I had was, so I'm just going to list them first. Exodus 24:12, and that's roughly when Moses got the 10 Commandments. I'll tell you that. Judges 3:25, that is when, forgive me for my pronunciation, when Ehud delivered them from sin. Psalms 37:34, basically keep to his ways in triumph. Isaiah 25:9 and Isaiah 60, specifically 9, but I want you to look at 1 through 22. I don't have a summary for that. I just have like all these smiley faces and hearts and stars. Obviously, that's my favorite one. Lamentations 3:26, and the short version of that is God's merciful love endures. These are all so amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, and if you have your Bible, get it out, get out your pen, get that notebook, and you're going to read some of these. It's kind of like a Lectio. It's a modified form of Lectio. So I want you to read the lines that I told you earlier. Hopefully you already have those written down. If you don't, go ahead, pause the video, rewind it, and play it more slowly so you can write those down. And then journal as you read one. Just read the little line. If you're crazy like me and you really want that Isaiah 1 through 20, you may want to have somebody else there reading it to you, or play it if you've got a Bible app that's an audio, you could play that. So I kind of want you to look at that line and journal out the words that jump out to you, or the feelings they create in you. Either one. So words that might jump out of you that are literally on the page, or maybe words that come to you, or feelings, emotions that it stirs up within you. So then I want you to reflect on, why do they feel like Advent to you, or do they not feel like Advent to you? And you can just write that out for yourself. Step 4, I wanted you to pick at least one of those and see if you can relate it to the 3 comings of Christ, right? So I just said, do they roughly get an idea? Do they feel like Advent to you? And then we're going to look at them more deeply. So number 4 is pick at least one and see if you can relate to the 3 comings of Christ. The 3 comings of Christ, right? The original incarnation in the nativity. And then we have the second coming where he's coming triumphantly. But the secret third coming is when he comes to us personally and lives in our lives. So those are the 3 you're going to look at. So the incarnation is very beautiful, especially to Franciscans. And the second coming we can be very excited for, because that hasn't happened yet. Hopefully the third one has already happened and he's in your heart. And so maybe that could be something to really look for. What's it like when you wait for him? Sometimes you don't feel him there, and other times you feel him stronger? Do you remember what it was like when you first felt him there? So that can go really deep. And I think these verses are really going to speak to you. And then I want you to go back once you've done that, right? Read them, journaled out just words and feelings, and looked at then said, do they feel like what I think of as Advent? And then go deeper. How do they relate? I can't do 4. How do they relate to the 3 comings of Christ? And number 5, I want you to go back and read that entire, it could be the chapter or that section. So you get more of the context of where it was coming from. I don't want you to do that first. I want you to do that now. It's step 5. Go read the entire thing and see if that changes your feelings or not. And then just journal your overall experience on it. Okay, so we're going to look up one. Obviously, Isaiah 6:9 is the one that totally spoke to me. Each of these did. I tested out each of these verses, and they were each and every one of them very strong to me. I had a reaction to each of them. I was really surprised because, like, the 10 Commandments, I was like, what? It was so deep when I looked at it. I know Isaiah's here. There we go. Isaiah 60. That's the one I'm going to read. And I'm just going to read the one I originally listed, which is 9, even though I recommend reading 1 through 22. I'm just going to read 9 because it's so interesting. And out of context, it may have you thinking if you can't remember where this comes in the story of Isaiah. But we've been reading Isaiah a lot lately in church, so this may jump out at you, right? Maybe you'll know what it's saying. But for the islands shall wait for me, the ships of Tarshish first, to bring your sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, for the name of the Lord your God, and for the Holy One of Israel, because he has glorified you. That I think of waiting, and there's great treasure coming, but that great treasure is because God has blessed you. The great treasure isn't the blessing. It's coming, but because God has blessed you. And I'm not thinking of that in the, what's it called? The prosperity gospel. I'm not even thinking of literal silver and gold. I'm thinking of good things, but I'm thinking of graces and beauty and joy in my life. Those are the good things I'm thinking of. So the words I have here are really expectation and gratitude and amazement. Because he's saying the islands are all going to be coming to me, bringing me treasures. And I'm just thinking of maybe that's people from far away. People I don't even know yet are going to come and be blessings in my life. And that makes me so excited. And it does kind of feel like Advent to me. Step 3, has the feeling of Advent? It does. Because that can be like relatives coming from far away. Or like the Good King Wenceslas when an old friend suddenly shows up at your door. And that is a blessing in itself, right? An old friend. That song always gets me crying every Christmas. Even though I listen to Old Wally King, the Australian version, I listen to that every year and I bawl like a baby. I'm crying now. I know, I'm a big crybaby. Number 4, pick it and see if I can relate it to the different comings of Christ. This is an easy one because, the 3 kings coming, bringing the gifts to the nativity. That's easy. The second coming, for the islands shall wait for me, the ships of Tarshish first, to bring your sons from afar, their silver and gold with them. For the name of the Lord your God, and for the Holy One of Israel, because he has glorified you. And honestly, because it talks about the name of the Lord your God, and he has glorified you, makes me think of Revelation when they say that his name is, written on your forehead. So it does kind of remind me of the second coming, and that there's more good things coming, because it says the islands of Tarshish first. So that means there's more later. So that does kind of remind me of the second coming. Now, to us personally, because he has glorified me, that mysterious third coming when he's come to me, I'm instantly thinking of all the blessings the Lord has given to me. And when I was trying to hear him speak his name and stuff, and that really, wow. Like, I would never have guessed, because this seems like such a random passage that, doesn't directly tie into the nativity in the middle of Isaiah. And it is a large passage. I'm not going to read it all to you, but I will read the title of this section, and you're going to be like, what? And want to read it because it says, the Lord will come as a light and will gather his people. I was like, ah! I was so excited by that. So go and read that. And what do you think now? Journal your feelings and idea. And this just makes me so excited, not just for Christmas and the incarnation, but it makes me excited for the second coming. It makes me excited that I invite him into my life every day. Okay, I don't know how jazzed you are. I am, and so I hope you go back and look at all the verses. I'm going to say them one more time in case you haven't gotten them. And if you have time today to do more than one, absolutely do more than one. We're going to do something different with them tomorrow, or just different, but building on this tomorrow. So I'm going to give them to you one more time. Exodus 24:12, Judges 3:25, Psalms 37:34, Isaiah 25:9 and 69, Lamentations 3:26. So go ahead, get your journals out and get started on it. Even if you just want to write a verse out and think of it throughout your day, you could do that. Write them down on little index cards or even little gift tags. They could be such a blessing. Put them on Post-it notes and put them around the house and just think of them throughout the day. You don't have to actually write it down. That's the way I process things. You could draw pictures of them, journaling, like we talked about, like people do Bible journaling. So give this a shot. I was really excited about this exploration of waiting on the Lord, and I hope you join me for the rest of the week in this entire series. So may God bless you, friends. Good night. Oops. Good morning for you. Have a blessed day.